Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Schwinn. I'm coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm flat out excited to be able to share with you all tonight, like, what is this happy coffee that people are talking about? So a little bit of, I would say it's now 15 months ago, a good friend of mine, Mark Willitson, shared about a company that was basically a public company, and it was a travel business, and he was telling me how he invested in it. And then he started sharing about how they sent him this coffee as a gift. And he started to share with me, he goes, man, it's the craziest thing. It's just like totally knocked out my appetite. But the crazier thing is I started literally going through detox after being on this for a while. I'm now 40 pounds down. And I've been taking these pain medications for literally, 11, 12 years. And he said that when he went and counted his, one morning he woke up and he just started having like the shakes, and he went and counted his pills, and he normally is like done. And he would have to maneuver his life and make sure that he was traveling to where he could be back to the doctor to get his pain meds because he needed them, because his legs were always burning from a car accident that he was in. And what he found is that he had more than half of his pills left over. And he started to go like, what in the world's going on? And he started to, dig into it. And they called the formulator, and they started to talk about how when your brain releases certain chemicals, then he was probably not feeling the pain, and that it's possible that a lot of healing has gone on, the nerve damage that he had, and that his brain was telling him that he was still having the pain because of the opiates that he was taking. Now, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that it healed anything or anything like that, but what I am sharing is that when you balance out the hormones in your brain, some amazing things happen. And for him, not only did it not knock out his appetite, he lost 40 pounds at this point. His wife had lost weight, and he was just saying, man, there's something special about this. Well, at this point, I literally had gone through the toughest 2 years of my entire life. I went from making a very strong six-figure income, really since 2005. And at the end of 2015, in September, I remember, I literally was bedridden for 4 months. And we didn't know what was going on. I had a bone infection, and it literally crippled me, not only physically, but financially. And we went from a place of having perfect credit, in the 800s, to a 500 credit score. I went from having money in the bank, saved up, no credit card debt, to 40 grand in credit card debt, no money in the bank, a month behind on my mortgage, air conditioned out in my house in New Orleans. Luckily, it was October when it went out. And it was going to cost $7,000 to fix, and I didn't know what I was going to do. With that being said, when he shared what this coffee was doing for me, what it did for me was make me say, really? Coffee? I mean, if you're like me, I was actually very skeptical that coffee could make me feel this amazing. So with that, I literally, I was like, I need to try this coffee. And also saw a friend of mine, Shanna, she was posting about this coffee. And so I call her up and I'm like, Shanna, really? Coffee's doing all this? And she's like, Chris, you really won't believe it. She goes, within 15 minutes, people feel absolutely amazing. She goes, I had a brunch at my house, and I just asked people if they wanted coffee. I didn't tell them what it was or say anything. And she goes, within about a half an hour, you could just feel the energy in the room change. And it was like just everybody just turned on, and we're like on a whole nother level of energy. And she's like, Chris, you have to try this stuff. With that being said, I called up Mark and I ordered. And the first experience I had on this coffee blew me away. I could not believe that coffee could make me feel, it was actually like a euphoric feeling. I had more focus. I had clarity. It just felt amazing. So what is this that I'm talking about? It's called Elevate. And if you look on the bag, it says weight management, mood enhancing, nootropic infused happy coffee. Now, I didn't know what all that meant, but when I saw happy and coffee together, I got pretty excited, right? It increases energy, it enhances clarity, it boosts your memory, it helps burn fat, cures cravings, and elevates your mood. So The other thing that I tried at the same time is Xanthamax. Now, I couldn't pronounce Xanthamax when I first tried it, so I just called it the happy pill, because what this does is it's loaded down with all these antioxidants. In fact, it's known to be, if you go to xanthayumol.com, I'm not a scientist and I don't know all the stuff. In fact, I couldn't even tell you the ingredients in the coffee. But what I can tell you is that when I shared this with my doctor friend, who is my doctor, she's a holistic / MD, and she's very big on helping people change their diet to reverse a lot of challenges that they're dealing with. She got on the phone with Kevin and they started talking about the ingredients. She now offers this in her clinic. So I didn't have to be a scientist. I didn't have to figure out, because some people are like, well, I need to talk to my doctor first. Did you talk to your doctor before you drank a cup of coffee this morning? Guys, it's coffee. It has herbs in it that make you feel amazing. It's all kinds of natural stuff that make you feel great. How does it do that? Well, if you're right-handed, you stir it with your right hand and you drink it. And if you're left-handed, you can do it with your left. But no, how it works, I'm not really sure. But what I do know is it works great. And when you drink this, within 15 minutes, most people feel amazing. My wife gets like swelling in her fingers and stuff. And when she takes this pill, literally within 30 minutes to an hour, all the pain and swelling goes away in her hands. So huge on inflammation in our experience. And it's been absolutely amazing. We have not only the Elevate, but we have the Happy Pill. And together, we call this dose. Why do we call it dose? Well, because when you take these together, this balances out your hormones, and then your brain releases all of the happy chemicals. That's why we call it happy coffee, because it's now releasing dopamine, oxytocin from this, serotonin, and endorphins from this. So dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, and oxytocin. Guys, this is the only product known to man to naturally release oxytocin in the body. And it's just amazing what we're seeing happen with this product. And just to let you guys know, I know we have some workout buffs and all that. Imagine having all of the same benefits that the coffee gives you, but also causing the body to naturally release nitric oxide in the body as well, which has huge health benefits as well. With that being said, guys, don't take my word for it. Yes, I was going through a major, I would call it depression, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. Being where I was financially, being where I had never been before from a financial perspective, really, I was not at the most empowered state, if you know what I mean. When I started taking these products, I literally just felt like amazing, and I really wasn't worried about, all of the stuff. The stress and anxiety went away. And many people are having major, major benefits when it comes to that. But don't take my word for it. I want to open up the call to a few people. I'm going to start off with Nancy. Nancy, are you out there?
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. Can you hear me? Nancy? I'm doing well, thank you. We got quite a few people on here tonight.
There is. Share with us real quick what happened with you. Somebody shared the product with you, and then the results that you've had have been amazing from a physical perspective.
Yep, exactly. Well, like you, Chris, I was pretty skeptical, but the friend that actually brought this to me, Tracy, has a master's degree in nutritional science, and so I knew she wouldn't just ask me to take any old thing, and she knew my complete health story. I had literally been bedridden for 14 months with sort of post-surgical trauma. I had intestinal blockage and had surgery, and after that I wound up with chronic daily migraines, vertigo, neuropathy in my feet and hands, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue where I was sleeping, depression and anxiety, needless to say, because I was going through similar findings. So I was desperate. I was taking 12 different prescriptions every day, basically treating symptoms, I think, individual things. So when she suggested that I try it, I had 7 specialists at the Maryland District, Minnesota. So I emailed my neurologist and my integrative medicine doctor down there, gave them a list of ingredients and said, could any of this hurt me? And they said, no, they're all natural flavonoids and amino acids, things you would normally find in food, and it can't hurt you. Let us know if it helps you. So I had also been, because of the chronic pain and migraines that I had, tested for dementia. And that was pretty frightening because I'm only 58 years old, and to have early onset dementia was frightening, to say the least. So what I discovered is that within an hour of drinking the happy coffee and taking the dose, it was as if someone had put jumper cables on my brain and restarted it. It was so amazing. I had hope again for the first time in over a year that I might be able to function and like go to the grocery store without leaving my credit card, or losing my car in a parking lot and ending up crying almost every day because so many things just wouldn't come together for me. So yeah, I started on the product, and within about 5 days, the fibromyalgia pain was gone. And by about day 7, instead of sleeping 16 hours and being in bed, I was up and doing things, and I felt like the Energizer Bunny, and I was just so grateful. And I've been on the product now since about November 15th. And every day, I have to admit, I'm skeptical. I get up and I say, is it going to work today? Is it going to work today? Please work today. And it does. So I'm finally relaxing and feeling confident that, yes, this is going to work long term. And I'm just really grateful. I feel like it's a true blessing that it was brought to me, because without it, I'd probably honestly still be in bed.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nancy. Appreciate you so much, and really excited for what's happening for you on the products. Thanks again. Now we're going to go to Julie. Julie, are you out there?
Yes, I'm here. How you guys?
I am wonderful. Share with us, Julie, what has happened for you. I got multiple messages saying Julie needs to share her story.
Well, there's kind of a three-parter to this. Melissa had given it to a friend of mine named Kathy, and I was suffering from anxiety and depression. I have for a really, really long time, since high school. Tried every type of medication, went to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. Mind you, I live in California. So tried several different things. Some of them were really bad side effects. Had severe postpartum with my kids. And then I was suffering from more anxiety and depression because I have an older child with Asperger's syndrome. And then our middle son was diagnosed 3 years ago with Crohn's. Well, at the time, we were going through everything, and the anxiety and depression and mom guilt and everything kept getting worse and worse. And the panic attacks were getting worse, and no medication was helping, big pharmaceuticals. And Kathy gave me I think it was a year ago now, because May is my year that I've been on the Happy Coffee. And within a month, within a few days, sorry, she gave it to me and said, here, try this, because you're just a hot mess and you're all over the place and you really need this. So I gave it a try, and I could feel the difference. And the panic attacks started to go away. The anxiety started to go away. I could deal with the things that were going on with my kids. Yes, it was still stressful, but it wasn't the same kind of stress.
No,
And
we're going to go back to it.
Manny?
Yes, go back to it. Go back to it. And
so anyway, that's okay. So I started taking it, and within a few weeks, I told Kathy, I said, you know what? I am completely in. I need to order this. And I have not stopped taking it since. And then I've lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
Since then. And then when the Hemplivate came out, I started doing my research on the Hemplivate, and I have given it to our middle son that has Crohn's, and he is in what the doctor technically calls remission. Crohn's is something you will have to fight forever, but he is technically, because his inflammation markers and his numbers are completely within normal range thanks to our hemp. And I had started about 4 or 5 months ago. I started our son with Asperger's on the hot chocolate, and he is now focusing and concentrating and getting better grades in school. So it has, it's really helped our family. I feel like a normal person again. I feel, like I can handle life. I can handle the kids. Yeah, stress may happen, but these are kind of happy tears, not bad, sad tears, not stressful tears. I can handle all of that now. So, and then I had decided, you know what? I need to share this. I cannot keep this from anybody. So I decided to join, and August will be a year that I joined the company and started sharing this product with other people. And I can say that in the past 3 months, I've been able to pay for our health insurance myself without my husband's help. And we've been struggling from paycheck to paycheck, to make ends meet. So this has really helped financially as well. So it's been a huge blessing in so many ways.
Wow. Congrats for, all the success that's happening on the product. And congrats for being able to go out there and contribute to the family and help catch up on all your bills. That's incredible, Julie.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now I'm going to go to Jennifer Marsh. Jennifer, are you out there?
Hey, Chris.
How are you?
I'm great.
I'm great. Had some amazing results on the product. What's happened for you?
I have. I started the products back in December of 2017, so well over a year ago. And when I started them, I actually had found myself kind of at a place that, I don't know, just had a bunch of symptoms like some of the other gals had described who had incredible stories. They always say that a life event seems to turn our lives kind of sometimes to where our body just handles everything so much differently. And I found in my life that happened several times. One of the biggest impacts was a house fire that we had about 6 years ago. And after that, it seemed like emotionally, physically, everything was harder to deal with. And I found myself with a lot of PTSD from that. And on top of it, a lot of health issues that I already had that were exacerbated. I also had anxiety and depression. I had had fibromyalgia that was undiagnosed for quite some time, which I know later what happened before I started taking these is I actually was using our chairlift, not even walking up the stairs. And I wasn't getting on the floor with the kids anymore. There's all these things I wasn't doing. And when I started these products, a friend, Melissa, had shared these, and she just said, Jen, because anxiety was a huge deal. If you knocked on my door, I would have hidden in my bathroom. I pretty much moved out of my current house with the kids and went to another property we had and lived in a camper most of the time because I just didn't want to be around people. And that was completely not something that I had ever done in my life. So I didn't start them for pain. I didn't start them for any of that. I really started for anxiety and hoping to lose some weight. I had had a hysterectomy about a year previous. And from that point on, things even got worse post-surgical. So I found myself at the heaviest I had ever been. So at this point, I started using the products. And within a few weeks, I could tell that I wasn't so afraid to leave the blinds open and people weren't as scary to me as they had been for a while. But I also started noticing a reduction of inflammation very fast in my entire body. I would get up every morning and my feet would hurt to walk on. I swelled up really easily and just had a lot of everyday pain. I was wrapped up in heating pads every single day. I noticed that I stopped using the heating pads. I started getting on the floor, putting puzzles together. I started using the regular stairs. And over a period of time, ended up losing 50 pounds, 10 pant sizes, anxiety, and so many things I didn't realize I was coping with life, dealing with food. I was using food as a mechanism, I believe, to, make me happy, keep my anxiety away. I don't really know the underlying, except for I didn't realize everything that was happening until I started using something. And I have a recent story that is actually pretty good. I went on the road for about a month with the kids. Thanks to this opportunity, I've been sharing with a bunch of friends and have been able to do a few things. And one of the things I did was did not take my products with me. So what happened is I didn't take them for a month. This was really good because I noticed how much I did appreciate them for a lot of different reasons. But what I'm dealing with right now, being home, is I was actually just sitting on the couch with a heating pad, which I hadn't done for a year. I've had a lot of aches that I haven't been dealing with, and a lot of inflammation. And so it just reminded me how grateful I am. I actually took ibuprofen several times on the road because my gums hurt so bad from being inflamed, and that's always my first indication of my inflammation. So a great little ending story to how much these can help, and sometimes you don't appreciate them so much until you don't have them for a long period of time. So thanks for letting me share, Chris.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I have no idea why you would go a month without the products.
Well, I didn't intend to leave them, and I almost had my husband mail them, but it was a really good test for me to realize, wow, that was a really bad idea.
I've had I might be able to count on one hand how many times I've missed the coffee since we've started on the coffee in November of 2017. It's been amazing. So thank you so much, Jen, for sharing that with me. Let's have a couple guys share real quick. Do we have any guys out there that have a story they would like to jump on real quick and share before we wrap this bad boy up?
What up, Chris?
How are you, Sean McLean?
Awesome. How you doing, brother?
I am wonderful. Thank you for asking.
So I'll try to condense my story down, but the short version, guys, is everybody knows my wife and I as being this, extremely outgoing, positive couple, all that good stuff, right? What they didn't know was in the car and at home, life wasn't so good. Probably about a year and a half. It took me a long time to admit it was depression, and I haven't been to the doctor in 20 years. I was just telling the story to somebody else. I actually went to the ER at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they laughed at me and told me, you're not having a heart attack, you have anxiety. So that, which I went to my doctor, and he said the same thing. And I'm like, I don't get anxiety. But we were just stuck in a bad place. I was, long story short, stuck in depression. I got a phone call from a buddy of mine that was telling me about this awesome company, and I drove 16 hours out to Dallas, Texas, and tried the product, and made my buddy that was with me swear not to say anything, but halfway through the first cup, I could feel it, literally feel it in my temples. Jumped to day number 4, and without going through that whole story, about 5:30 in the morning, I just freaking exploded on my wife, and big explosion here. And I got up and made a cup of happy coffee and sat back down at the computer to work. And within 10 minutes, it was just like, wow. Like, and I could feel it coming on every time it would start to come on, but I couldn't stop it. I was actually looking at my reflection in this very computer screen going, chill out, dude. It's not that big a deal. Like, there's nothing really going on. And then I just lost it. And I can tell you now, it's been 17 months being on the product. It's funny, like the thought of going without this product every day, it's not gonna, I actually was talking to somebody about that today, and they're like, well, what if you did go a week without it? I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even try it. It's not going to happen. So my wife would tell you, we were about 6 months shy of our 22nd anniversary, and had we not found this product when we did, there wouldn't have been a 22nd anniversary. So it's really not my story as much as it is her story and our 3 kids. Life-changing is all I can tell you. Just get the product, experience it for 30 days, and just see what you experience. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. It's pretty awesome, dude.
Thank you so much, Sean. We have one more guy that would like to share their story before we close this
I can go ahead.
What's up, Francisco?
What's going on? What's going on?
What is happening
Okay,
with
so
the product?
this is how I'm gonna start. Like 10 months ago, a friend of mine shared this with me. Um, I was suffering from depression and anxiety. 2015 was a rough time for me. I got into a divorce, lost everything, had to start all over again. So I gained 94 pounds thanks to that depression and anxiety. So the thing was that because of that, I developed a totally out of control my insulin levels. So my A1C was like around 8.5. Doctor told me, well, you have an initial type 2 diabetes. So I gave it a shot. Once Bill and Cheryl Jacks presented this to me, I gave it a shot. I was faithful that it will work on me. Trust me, 15 minutes was literally, my brain was like, wanted to explode. My focus, my concentration were out of this world. I fast that day to a point that I wasn't hungry at all and I wasn't grouchy and I wasn't like cranky because with my anxiety, I really had a bad mood, you know. And the product made me happy again. In 90 days, I lost 50 pounds. First week, I lost 12 pounds. I went from size 46 to size 38. But the great thing that happened to me is when the company that time launched Hemplerate, I was 2 weeks trying the products. I started doing the Hemplerate because I was having issues with inflammation. I had my right foot with a lot of pain. The inflammation went away like in a week. And I'm not telling you this is going to cure you. I'm telling you my story about this product gave me the tools in my body to my body heal itself. So the thing was that there wasn't any pain at all. I went to my doctor's checkup for 90 days, checkup for my blood. So they went and checked the glucose levels. And my A1C, he couldn't believe it. My A1C went from 8.5 to 5.8, just in the pain, just the beginning stages of the product. So what I did is I shared the products with a friend of mine that he's the son of the mayor of my hometown in Puerto Rico, and he is a MD. He works with patients with diabetes and a lot of heart disease. He's an internist. And when he saw everything and he saw my story and he saw my labs, he said, I need to share this with my patients. So right now he's one of my affiliates, my partners, sharing this with every single patient that goes through his office. And the powerful part is I gained my smile back. I was totally out of control in terms of my mood. And this made me so happy again that I'm all blue now again, partying with my friends, having friends again, knowing new people, because now have a sense of purpose again. To the point that I was start sharing this with everyone, and literally like by February this year, I got to retire from my current job or my last job because the business of sharing this with other people went to a point that went from part-time income to full-time income. And now I can share this with more people. So that's my story. And I hope to help someone.
I have one more person that we're going to close out the testimonials with. Alicia, are you there?
Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great night. Thank you so much, Chris, for having me on. Amazing testimonials. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. So a couple months ago, I got introduced to this by my friend Shane, and he actually found me in the diner that I worked at. And at the time, he saw me being super happy, and he didn't understand how I could be so happy. Probably thought I was on the happy coffee. Fun fact that I wasn't. Deep down inside, on the outside, I was nice and happy, but on the inside, I was really sad all the time. And I was actually going through a really bad time. I've lost 170 pounds at the time, and now I've lost over 200, but I had plateaued and I was stuck, and I stopped going to the gym. I was unmotivated. I started becoming angry, mad at my clients, all the coworkers, all the time. It was horrible. And I started taking the stuff, and I was very skeptical, and I didn't believe it could help me. And fun fact, let's fast forward it 4 months later, and it has completely changed my life. I was stressed out working 3 jobs at the time. Now I only work 1, which is at the gym. I had lost my weight in. But it's not just my testimony that's so amazing. I went from having brain fog and not being able to focus or even feeling like I was alive anymore. I had what was called derealization, depersonalization. If you know what that is, it's really scary. You don't feel like you're actually on this earth anymore, and you question everything between your name, your parents' name, everything. And I didn't even know if my job was real anymore. And even though I was on every single social media network site and all these news articles and magazines, I didn't know what this could actually do for me. My mom was the greatest mom I ever had. And she actually went down a really rough patch. Her and I became homeless at the same time, and I couldn't help her out, but then I got back up on my feet, and my mom didn't. And so on Christmas, I had her tell me, and this really, it hurts me a lot. She had told me that she was going to kill herself, and I couldn't take it anymore. I was alone in British Columbia. I already moved myself out here, and she told me, that's it. I'm going to kill myself on Christmas. And that was some heartbreaking stuff for me. I couldn't take it. I moved her out here, and I told her she needs to start taking the stuff once it was introduced to me. I was working double shifts at Denny's at the time and the gym, and I came home after working them. And for the first time in my life, after 2 years of not seeing her smile, she had a smile on her face, a goal plan of what she wanted to get done, how she was going to get it done. And now I can say to this day, she's still struggling, but she's doing amazing. She's getting the therapy she needs. She's going out and talking to people again. I actually saw her going hang out with friends the other day, which was mind-blowing for me. And if you guys don't think this product works, guys, it works. It absolutely works. And the biggest thing that I noticed when I was at the gym the other day is one of my clients had told me some of her information. I went up to the front desk, and usually I would have forgotten it. And shockingly enough, I actually remembered every bit of it. And I went, holy crap, like this stuff works. So whoever got you guys on this call tonight, get back to them. This is an amazing product. This is an amazing movement, and everybody's here just to love on each other. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Appreciate you. And guys, I want to be very clear. I mean, it's amazing, and you hear a lot of things. And if you're like me, you're kind of like I told Mark and Judy originally, I was like, this sounds too good to be true, that coffee could be doing all this stuff. I mean, really, coffee can do all these amazing things. And, you know, a lot of people aren't, they might go, well, you know, I don't really have that issue or this issue or whatever. What I can tell you is my kids enjoy the products, the chocolate vape. You know, it doesn't matter if they're 8 or 80, people can get results from these products, and they're just crazy. And you heard a couple people mention a business side to it. Well, this is the craziest part about the business side to it, is that you don't need a skill set. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't have to understand a whole lot of stuff. What you need to be able to know is that, one, the product made a difference in your life. You ask people, guys, I'm going to give you all the training you need right now. If you're sitting here looking at this and going, wow, this looks pretty cool, you know, this makes a lot of sense, I'm going to share with you exactly, if you just say these couple things, you can go out and create huge success. Do you know anybody that likes to be happy? And what do you think they're going to say? They're going to say, everybody wants to be happy. And you say, have you heard about the happy coffee that everyone's been talking about? And they're going to go, no, what is that? And you're going to go, oh my God, this is what it did for me. And you share your story and say, hey, look, if I sent you a quick video that explains it way quicker than I can, wouldn't you think you could take a whole 10 to 15 minutes to watch 2 videos? And then basically they're going to say, well, I can do it whenever. And that's all you need to do, and sample the product. And that's how we built this business. Guys, I shared with you in the very beginning of this call that I was in the lowest point of my life, not only mindset-wise, but financially. And because what this product has done for so many people, our life has been totally turned around, because we went out there and took all-out massive action and started to share this with other people. How did we do it? Exactly what I just said. Do you know anybody who likes to be happy? Have you heard about the happy coffee? We shared our story. And then if they ask more questions, we literally put them on a Zoom just like this. And we had someone else explain everything to them. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not qualified to join the NBA. But what if all you had to be able to do is walk out on the court and dribble a ball, and you have Michael Jordan run by, like Michael Jordan's or all these people that shared their story on this call tonight. And basically all you do is pass the ball to somebody else, and you let them take the shot for you, and when they take the shot, you get paid. Guys, the most amazing thing is with this product is when people go out there and start, taking it, they have to tell other people about it. You heard Julie share that. You heard Francisco share that. I mean, you heard all these people that just started sharing, they've never done something like this before, many of them. But because the results, when you have a high impact product for such an affordable price, for less than the cost of a cup of coffee at a gas station is what our product costs. We're not talking about Starbucks or $4, but we're talking about just going out there and sharing a cup of coffee with people and letting them come up with the natural, logical conclusion that, you know what, I think I need to be on this stuff. Guess what? The worst case scenario is you stay the same. The worst case scenario is you stay miserable if that's where you are. The bottom line is it can't hurt anything. There's a money back guarantee on the product. From a business perspective, to be able to become an affiliate with the company for under $100 is a mind blower, right? And a lot of people will go, well, how do you get paid? It's pretty simple. You go out and you share the product just like I shared. When people order it, you get paid every single month, anywhere from 10 to 30%, depending on if they're buying wholesale, retail, or as an affiliate. It's really that simple. And then how do you leverage yourself? Guys, what I love about this is the fact that this is a leveraged income where you do something one time and you get paid over and over and over again. Like I shared, I've been on this product since November of 2017, every single month. And there's someone that's getting a check every single month because I order over and over and over again. We are 10-to-1 customers over promoters because the product does all the selling for you. It's incredible. So guys, you can leverage your income by one, building a customer base. You could just go out there and get a whole bunch of customers. Imagine having 100 customers, which we have many people that have more than that. And being able to make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, extra residual income. And what is residual? It means that it comes over and over. It's a circular income. You do something one time, you get paid over and over and over again. I like to call it rollover money. And why do I say rollover money? Because on the job, you have to roll out of bed and go to work every day, right? You have to roll out of bed, go to work, you get paid. You roll out of bed, you go to work, you get paid. Well, if you don't roll out of bed, you don't get what? You don't get paid. With this, if you build a customer base, it can pay you month after month after month, and you get to decide, do I want to roll over in bed and still get paid, or do I want to roll out of bed? And I just get fired up about that. But this is where it gets better. And I know a lot of y'all are going, how can it get any better? When people start sharing this product, what happens when most people, when they get on this product, they have a choice. They can say, you know what, I'm going to share this product because they're going to tell people they know about it because they feel amazing. So they have a choice. They can either tell people about it and refer them to you and you get paid, or they can tell people about it and they can get paid. Most smart people say, you know what, I'd much rather get paid. And the way that works is when they become an affiliate, you make an override, just like a real estate broker does in real estate. A real estate agent sells a house, he gets paid. He sells a house, he gets paid. If he doesn't sell a house, he doesn't get paid. Well, guess what? The real estate broker has a bunch of agents. So a bunch of agents don't have a bad week, a bad month, right? So the real estate broker gets paid whenever any of the real estate agents basically sell a house. Well, in this, you can build a brokerage as well. You can go out there and share this, and when your customers decide, you know what, I'm not allergic to extra money. I'm sick and tired of referring people to you and letting you get paid. I want to get paid. So they can refer people, they can get paid, and guess what? You're going to make an override just like that real estate broker does, or just like that insurance broker does. It's really no different than that, guys. So you get to leverage your income. And one of my mentors taught me years and years ago, he said, Chris, wealthy people don't work for money. Wealthy people work to create assets that throw off money. And the problem is, if you are the asset, if all of your income is based on what you do, and your asset isn't at work, you're not getting paid. He goes, you need to create a way for income to be coming in, whether you sleep or whether you're sleeping or whatever. And we've been able to do that, guys. In 1 year, our life has been totally transformed. We've been able to save more money, catch up, pay off all the debt, and have a lifestyle that we never dreamed possible. I was going to say never dreamed possible. I did, but I almost didn't ever believe that it would get as amazing as it has. and it has. So with that being said, guys, that's what we do. And many of you all are on this and you're going, you know, well, can I do this? Guys, if you can share your story of what the product does, yes, you can do this. If you can send somebody a website, yes, you can do this. If you can just get people on a call like this, yes, you can do that. Or even better, link them up to somebody on Messenger so where you don't have to know how to answer any questions. You don't have to know, you don't have to be good at sales. You don't have to be good at anything except sharing your story, sharing a link, and letting someone else answer all the questions for you. If this sounds like something you want to find out more about, which most smart people will, worst case scenario, at least get on the product. But get with the person that invited you on this Zoom tonight and let them know, hey, I'm a 1, a 2, or 3. What is that? Well, 1, you just want to be a customer and be happy. Number 2 is you want to be a customer, you want to be happy, and you might want some free product. And then number 3 is somebody that says, you know what, I want to get paid to do what I'm already going to do for free. I'm a number 3. So get with the person, invite you on the call, and say I'm a 1, a 2, or a 3, and get started. Thanks so much for jumping on the call. I appreciate you all. And I'm excited to hear about the new stories that come from tonight's call. Everybody have a great night. I will unmute the call. Everybody can say good night. Good night, everyone.
Night. Great call. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Awesome call.
Our grandson, he was at the band shelter, and there were a bunch